Good evening. I'm filming this Tuesday night before your Wednesday upload because I'm up in Seattle and it's doctor's appointment visit time. So I thought I'd do the video up here. An auspicious thing happened. The second Arne and Carlos hat is done. It is much bigger than the first one. It has the desired shaping that I want, as I wanted a great big slouchy. I'm going to flip the camera around and show you them side by side because there's a vast difference when you, now this is all additional length. So this is not going to have, will not have happened because I went up 2 needle sizes. But between this hat and this hat, everything above this line, so everything knit from white and up, the difference in size you see is just because I went up 2 needle sizes. That's it. So you can really see what going up a needle size or 2 will do to your knitting. Now, the biggest risk when you go up a needle size is that your fabric gets too open. The good thing about wool is wool fills the space. And yes, I can tell this is a little more open, but it is by no means too open or loose. I really like it. So I'm going to flip you around now and show you both hats. All right, here is the first hat, done I believe on a size 4 or 5 needle, and then this is done on a 6 or 7, whatever the one was that we were supposed to use for the hat, that's this hat, and whichever needle is 2 sizes bigger than that is what I used for this hat, and I'll put the info above. So vast difference. I'm going to put them on top of each other so you can see the difference. So here is, wow, after blocking it's not as much. When it was drying on the drying rack, and I'm going to put the picture right beside this hat, you can see the difference on the drying rack. But now it's not nearly as much, but I can tell you that the brim part down here is much bigger. What I did down here is I used the and I'm going to put the name in the video. Oh, and you have a snoot. The dog has laid his head down. This is a fold-up brim, and I'll fold it down. I've shown you this many times, but I think it's easier to see now. This is a fold-up brim. And what I did is do my 6 rows of ribbing, do my color work, and then right in here, I did a purl row right here. You can see that right there. I did a single purl row. Or actually the purl row, I turned my work and did a purl row, and then that makes a fold line. And then I started working, I flipped my work and I worked on the other side of my yarn, or my knitting. Somewhere along in here is a short row and a hole. And a lot of the time new knitters do this accidentally. What I just did is used it to suit my purposes. There it is. There's where I turned my work. Let's see. There's where I turned my work. There's a little single stitch hole right there, and that's because I turned my work. So what this does is it allows me to make a brim on the hat, to keep the hat looser, and also to give a little warmth. When David kept trying this hat on, he kept trying to roll up the brim, and so I have built it in for him to help him feel more happy with his brimage. And all I did for this pattern is do this row right here twice. I did this section 2 times, and that's what came out of it. So that is the finished hat. The other thing we did today is go to Alki Point Beach, and we went beachcombing. So I'm going to show you a couple of videos from that. There was a lot of listening to the sound of the waves, looking at the boats, looking at the water, and Atlas did a lot of log sniffing. And then Grayson and I, well, Grayson looked for rocks and shells, and I mostly looked for sea glass. So I'm going to show you a couple of clips from the beach, and then I'm going to show you a picture of all the sea glass that we found and some of the other things. Here, let me get behind the dog and get him on video. Stop looking.
It's so flat.
Is it glass?
No.
It's chip of wood, bark or something.
No. Everything else it's bumping around with, so it drops out first.
This is the two of us found this stuff. This, other than the zeolite, I only found this and this, which is apparently a zeolite, which I think it's basically rocks within a rock.
Zeolite bugs.
Zeolite bugs?
Bugs.
Zeolite vugs. I don't know what it means. I don't even know how, but I don't think we need the lecture that Grayson could give us. There's a whole book devoted to that kind of rock sitting in my living room. And then I found this, which is, we think petrified wood, but Grayson's gonna have to open it up to make sure. Sure looks like some sort of wood. But this, let me find it. There's some petrified driftwood that's way more obvious. Here it is. Look at that one, isn't that crazy? I'm gonna try and zoom it in on you. There. Doesn't that just look like a piece of driftwood? I'm trying to focus it. Come on, focus, camera. It wants to focus on my fingers, not the rock. But it looks like it's just a hunk of driftwood. But it's wood, but it's a rock now. So those are the only interesting rocks as far as I'm concerned. Then we have the shell category. I get more excited about the glass, so when we get to that. But I found this black snail, which is kind of interesting. He's gone. And his little white tip. And it was completely intact. I'm not used to finding that in Northwest beaches. This, look at it, it's got worm eaten and stuff. We don't know if it's a clam or if it's something else. But if you happen to know what that shell is from, let us know, because that one's kind of interesting. Grayson found that one. Whelks. Ooh. Oh, no, that's part of a snail. That's the end of a snail shell. But these are whelks. They eat these in the UK. I don't know if these are all the same kind of whelk, but that's what those are. There's some clams, some little bits, another piece of a shell. There's a full snail shell, but a white one. These are all Alki Beach, so, I mean, that's the beach to go to. There's a mussel, some more whelk, and just, you know, odds and ends. So that was the snails. Then the sea glass, which is what I get excited about. And oh my gosh, there was, every time you stopped and looked, you found another piece of sea glass. I left a lot behind. But see, there's like a 7-Up bottle top, which is kind of cool. Grayson found a pink piece of glass. I don't know if the color shows as well on here. I don't know. Any ideas on what pink glass would have come from? We're in the shadow of Olympia Brewing. Oh, here, we're going to get some more light on the subject. Oh, that doesn't help with the pink because my hands are pink. There. There, you can see the pink on the white towel. We're in the shadow of Olympia Brewing, and I think that some of these brown ones may be, look at that beauty. That one's well sanded. Maybe from Olympia Brewing. And there's like darker amber and then lighter, more yellow tones. Like there's a yellow one. So there's a variety of golden colors. This one was interesting. This one was either in a campfire that somebody threw it in, or it's like garbage where they recycled glass somewhere. I don't know if there was a glass works there. We do know that Alki Beach used to be a dump. So that probably explains why there's the sheer volume of
my jasper.
glass. Oh, apparently there was a rock mixed in there.
My jasper.
Oh yeah, I'll show them the jasper.
There's a blue one.
This one looked like fresh glass, but when you feel it, it is so not fresh glass. It's been running around a while. Oh, and we have a blue glass, which is kind of cool. Those were the only examples. And then several pieces of white glass. I thought this one looked like, when I picked it up, it looked a little bit like Oregon. Oh, get your light out. You're making it invisible. There, doesn't that look a little bit like Oregon? All right, so stick close though. So that's
It did break.
Oh yeah, we did break. Oh,
Someone
sad.
dropped it in the hallway.
Oh yeah, I dropped it. So some of the glass, but it's the fresher glass.
Yeah,
It's the fresher glass.
that's a good one.
There's a piece of it too.
Yeah.
So it was a piece of
There's one too.
brown.
It was a thin one.
Yeah, it was a thin one. But yeah, oh, it was probably like that.
Yeah.
But we had a good time walking the beach, as did Atlas. Aren't those really pretty? Those are really nice. Those two. They're hard for you to see because they're in this here. There. Isn't that neat? I've never found that color glass before. I found any number of these other ones, but not that. And then we have the unidentified found objects, which I find bizarre. So that,
Not drip. I think it might be MDF.
I know, this kind of looks like hardboard, but it's been softened. It's like hardboard sea glass
Yeah.
because it's been softened by the
I thought it was
water.
a piece of brick when I picked it up.
And it's very light and looks like hardboard that you would put on your wall. And then I found these two items, which a button first, and it's a shell button or a bone button. And then check this out. I don't know if this is a modern thing or what, but this is an actual dice made of clay that I found on the beach. If you know anybody that left some homemade dice on the beach in Alki, let me know, because I found your dice on the beach.
Or who threw them away.
Or who threw them away, yeah.
Tiny mussel shell.
I already showed it that. All right, so this is our, let's see if we can get this to there. This is all the stuff we found on the beach. All right, that's it. After we went to the beach, we went and had dinner at the spaghetti factory, but our this morning started at 5 a.m. So I'm in bed. I am going to have an early night and sleep, and then we have to be down to the doctor appointment tomorrow at 10, as I understand it. So we have to be up and out of here by probably 8:30, because it's not very far, but the traffic, it's a really crappy traffic zone. And then a second night, because this time there's a third appointment that could not be arranged together. The doctor. Anyway, Atlas is exhausted. He is reclined on the bed. I have my unfinished object to work on. I'm going to show you Atlas. Oh, wait, I have to turn this around to show you Atlas. And you're going to see the messy bed because I've got everything around me to record with. There is Atlas sleeping. He's exhausted. He didn't like the 5 a.m. wake up either. We were very grouchy until we hit Seattle because it was just too early for us. About 11 a.m. is when we were decided it was time to get up. Anyway, that's it for me for this Wednesday. If you haven't already subscribed to the video, please subscribe now. If you want to get notified, ring the bell and give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you know what that shell is, I'd really like to know what that shell is, if you've seen one before. And I am going to show you Tony's. Tony just finished her hat, and she sent me a picture this evening. So I'm going to put it up right here. But I'm going to talk more about it when we do the UFO video, because it's Tony's unfinished project that she just finished. So that will be for the other channel. Also, don't forget to go watch the other channel so you can see me 4 times a week instead of twice. I will see you on Saturday or Sunday, depending on when I manage to upload. Bye.